What's going on YouTube? Mike from MTG Vintage Crack here. We're going to be playing some Pauper Constructed Queue on MTGO. Today I'll be running Mono Black Ponza, also known as the Land Destruction deck. So I'd call this a pretty decent opening hand. I'd like another swamp, but at least we have the Dark Ritual and we can turn to Choking Sands. Okay, Tranquil Cove, which is good because that gets us 2 damage from the Choking Sands. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. Are they going to counter it? Sure. Okay, so it turns out they really needed that. So I think we're just going to go straight forward again. Actually, let's try the Ice Quake first. Okay, they had 2 negates. Of course they did. That's fine. Okay, they'll draw a couple of cards. And we'll get to take our turn. Play out the swamp, and I guess since they can't counter it, we can just go for it. I guess it would have made more sense to play the Baron more in that case, but at least we can just cycle it. And then we'll pass turn, leave up the cycling for Baron more. And at worst, if we end up just drawing not a swamp, we can use Sign in Blood next turn. Okay, and then we get the Radiant Fountain. And I think the plan is still to just try to take them off their lands. And then next turn we drop the Angler, most likely. Hopefully they play something so that way there's no chance of being countered. We get him for 2. So I think we do just have to pressure them and drop the Angler in, and then save the extra value spells for next turn. Let's draw a card with the Dusk Legion first, actually. So maybe they have a counter, they thought about it. Here we go. And it resolves, so that's pretty good for us, unless they have some sort of removal. Really interesting choice to use that lightning bolt there. And there's the journey. Alright, let's draw a couple of cards. At least we didn't draw them next turn. There go the rats. So we may as well just play it. It's damage and it takes them off of a land. And we'll draw a couple of cards again. But we are starting to run out of room. The Thorn is going to be really good in this spot. I wonder if it's worth playing both, the Ice Quake and the Thorn. I think we would have just enough to play it. Well, let's see if they counter the land destruction. I want to take off the red just in case they have some sort of burn spell. Like so. And if this resolves, we might be in an okay spot. And as long as we can stay away from any answers, keep them from doing damage, we might be able to get back ahead. so that'll be a problem. Okay, another Ice Quake, not very helpful in this spot. Okay, they're gonna flicker it and return the land to their hand. That will at least be able to trigger the threshold and kill the lone missionary. Be able to take our monarch back, and if we can get a diabolic edict, actually get them to sacrifice their Skyfisher. Okay. So, not enough to get there. So, looks like we're playing against quite a bit of control and flicker there. Doomblade will be pretty good in this spot, just because they're not playing any black creatures. The witches might be okay too, just because they can ping those 1 toughness creatures. Maybe 1 nausea. I don't even mind pestilence either. But they weren't playing with too many creatures. We'll take out the edicts just because we can target and we don't need to worry about that. I think I want to take out these befows. Kind of keep the curve lower and hopefully just get in with the creatures, get ahead in life total, and use the witches to our advantage. Okay, here we go. We'll have to mulligan that. And with this, we can at least sign in blood. We've got the rats, we've got the ice quake, and we've got the scry as well. This deck can be tricky with mana, so I just want to keep that on top. So, I mean, they were able to stabilize pretty early the last game because they had the double negate on both of our early land destruction spells. And let's just try to fill our hand early. Next turn, we can hopefully pull off an Ice Quake and start to get ahead. After watching them play last game, I kind of would rather just take them off blue early instead of going for the red-white land. I'm assuming there's a negate coming. There it is. I'm fine with them tapping their lands, because that means I can destroy them. So since we are only going to play the Rancid Earth, we're going to drop this. And I don't think they'll be able to get away with anything this turn. So they drop another white land. So if we get behind, at least we have the Pestilence. And I think if we wanted to, we could, yeah, we can play the Rats and the Angler. Wait, let me think about that. Yeah, we can do both. No, we can't. I, for some reason, thought you could tap the Peatbog again and get the counter off. But that's okay. At least we set them back from getting another blue land. If I would have used the 3, no. And bye bye Rats. Now what's interesting is we could drop the Pestilence, activate, and pass. That would help fill our graveyard up, and I think that's actually pretty funny, so we should do it. And then I think we just dropped the Angler, right? So the cool thing about Pestilence is once we get ahead in life, we can start just using that to ping their life total down along with ours and not kill our Angler all the way. So we're going to want to attack first and then probably play a Sign in Blood. They could like Galvanic Blast, Lightning Bolt to take out the Angler. In which case, in response, you activate Pestilence. And I think I kind of just want to play the Ice Quake too. Hopefully we stay ahead and we can drop our Thorn and get extra ahead. Doesn't seem like they can do much. Let's come in. This evens up our life total. I'd really like a Doomblade just in case they play like a Skyfisher or something like that. Another Prophetic Prism. Okay, nothing special, so let's attack first. And I do want to try to take them off their blue again. And if they waste a negate, that's fine. Alright, here we go. I think a Sign in Blood right now might be a little bit greedy. Especially because we do have the Monarch card draw, and there's an Angler for next turn, so we really didn't need it. And now we can start having fun with Pestilence and getting little pings in here and there. I think I'm just going to kill that now along with the Black Rose. They will still gain some life, but our anglers can take that back down pretty fast. Probably blast it now. Yep. So that's fine. We really wanted them to dump their answers that turn, think that they're ahead, and then we drop our other angler and start all over again. And we got another Pestilence too, so that's pretty funny. Gurmag, Angler, and Pauper is pretty ridiculous. Perfect. So I think we want to be careful about using the Pestilence since they could have a Galvanic Blast. I figured that was probably coming eventually. In which case, I'm fine with losing the Angler to a Galvanic Blast because Skyfisher can help them get back ahead. And there's the Galvanic Blast. And actually, we can just blow the rest of our mana to take them down and then force them to lose 2 life with Sign in Blood next turn. Them pass the turn back to us, right? Oh, I guess that was enough. I need to learn how to count. So that was pretty good. Pestilence came in handy, so I like that. I didn't really feel too bad about anything we drew. I guess we were running 63 cards, I didn't even realize. So I've noticed that land destruction really hasn't done much for us. Maybe it has, but I think we can afford to cut a couple of those. Probably just the Ice Quakes. They run enough non-creature spell hate to make it less valuable. Okay, so hopefully we can take game 3. So it looks like our opponent is sideboarding pretty deeply, and we're about to start. This allows us to get a pretty early Gurmag Angler, so I like it. At the same time, we could just end up drawing completely dead, so I think you know what we gotta do. This is a bad hand, so we're gonna mulligan again. And I guess we'll have to keep it. Well, if we can get a swamp next turn, we can play the witches. Ouch. So it looks like we just destroyed ourselves on lands this time. At least we've got the peat bog. We're not out of the game yet. Let's see what happens. Probably gonna get negated. Oh, they go for the galvanic blast instead. At least there's another peat bog. Pretty ridiculous draws this game. And let's see what happens. At least we can play an angler pretty soon. If we can get a swamp, I think, of course we get a third peat bog. So we don't have enough to play the angler this turn. I guess we rancid earth, another land. It's gonna be close if we can pull ahead. Don't really have an answer for the Skyfisher yet either. And there's the Mole Drifter. They'll draw a couple of cards. So if we play the Choking Sands with the peat bog that has one counter on, we'll also be able to delve our angler, which I think is the move. It still doesn't help us answer the Skyfisher, but it does give us some momentum if we do find an answer. Guess we paid one too many. We do lose to a Galvanic Blast at this point. Nah, I guess not with the Radiant Fountain. So we're really hoping to draw Doomblade next turn if we can even make it to next turn. So I suppose if they had the blast, they'd just play it, right? So unless we can find a way to kill at least one of those, that's game for us. And that seems like it's gonna be it. So, matchup didn't seem like it was gonna go our way to begin with. But we were able to get through it in game 2. Unfortunately, didn't get to play much of any Magic game 3, so we weren't able to take the match. It was still a fun deck to play. I hope you had fun watching. I hope you thought it was fun to win with Pestilence as well. Until next time, thanks for watching.